We are going to slam the Corvette today.
And the crazy part, we're gonna do this without buying coilovers, without doing springs or any of that stuff, because this car is on factory suspension with leaf springs, which means that you can lower this car from the factory with just one 10 mil and a couple jacks, which the hardest part is gonna be finding a 10 mil.
Now, from all the videos I've seen of people lowering their Corvettes, after they lower them, they don't get as low as mine is.
Which makes me think that either one, my car is already maxed out, or two, my car has modified lowering bolts on the leaf springs.
So the only way to find out is to get underneath the car, take off a wheel, and
see if we can make it lower.
And another reason why I've decided to lower this car today
is because the car is in for an alignment tonight.
Because right now we have really, really bad camber wear on this tire and on the other side too.
So I had to order new tires, and I figured we might as well make the car the perfect ride height and then get in alignment, rather than get in alignment, then lower it, and then have to get another one. Now, we are gonna get technical with everything. We're gonna measure it.
So we're gonna go from lip to fender, and right here we're sitting at 3 inches. 4 1/8, 3 7/8, and driver front we're sitting at 3.
Now, what's funny is this car is so low, I need blocks of wood to jack this thing up, and we're trying to make it go even lower. I need to invest in some low profile ramps. Perfect. Stop. I know you're doing it. You're judging Ryobi. It's been good to me. Don't knock it until you try it.
Oh yeah. And that is the reason we need an alignment.
Now, as you can see, that bolt right there, that is the one bolt we need to move to make this car lower. And in between this piece and this piece is a pad. And judging by how close those two are together, this pad may have been messed with, because what a lot of guys do is they cut the pad in half and then shove it back in there. So let's just grab a 10 mil and see if we can get any play with this thing. Perfect, and almost forgot, we gotta push up the leaf spring a little bit to relieve pressure, or else this thing won't move. Bolt's pretty tight, so we're gonna spray it with some WD-40. All right, so we got an update. I'm able to move it now. The issue wasn't that I was lacking WD-40, it was that I was lacking leverage. So you can only fit a tiny wrench in there, and I have this and extension, and that works. That's maxed. Well, it looks like we raised it. No, I'm kidding, the jack's right there. But the suspension needs to settle a little bit, so we're not gonna pull out the tape measure and measure it right now. We're gonna go ahead and tackle this side while we're here, and then go to that side and then see what happens. This is one big tire. And funny story, with the rear, there still is a pad, but you can see there's a little bit more thread left. Now that one had a lot more play in it, and that is completely bottomed out now. A lot easier to turn too, as you can see, but won't go any farther. So we're not gonna force it anymore, because then we might destroy the threads. So let's put the rear wheel on. I have a feeling this rear is gonna drop a lot. So we got bad news. This side was stripped, and nothing I do is working. So, might have to go back on the other side and raise that side up a little bit. But also you gotta think, I loosened that side and then tightened it again. So I might not have even done anything on that side on the front. So, that being said, onto the rear. Don't do a burnout in rocks, because that's gonna happen. How to spray this side down with WD-40? Came out nice.
Okay, now it's time to go for a ride around the block.
And come back and see if this stuff settles.
Okay, we're a little bit warmer. Let's go ahead and just go like, let's go. Now it's hard to shift into the next gear one-handed, so we're not gonna attempt that. Now my theory is that if we make the rear squat enough, it'll make the suspension settle faster, and then we won't have to wait as long to see if we made a difference. All right, well, after about 10, 15-ish miles of driving and some steady pulls, I'm happy to announce the rear is lower, like a good chunk lower. Now we're gonna check the front just because we got to for the experiment. And yeah, nothing changed. See, 3 inches, 3 inches. Now, this side before was 3 inches and 7/8. So now it's at 3 inches and a little less than 3/4. So it dropped at about a 1/4 inch. So I'm surprised it makes that much of a difference, but hey. Then this side is now at, it lost, yeah, 2/8 to a little over a 1/4 inch. I guess a 1/4 inch is a big difference. Put that in your notes. And look at that. Now the Vette looks a little bit more level. Now, also, we only drove it for like 10 to 15 miles, right? So this could maybe adjust a little bit more and lower a little bit more. But now we gotta wait for Kyle. He's gonna come over and he's gonna take the Vette and he's gonna give us his Sonoma Green RS3. So we're gonna have an Audi for a little bit, and then he'll return the car tomorrow and we'll take it for one more drive and see if the alignment is better. Well, now we are in the Vette again because I sold my ID 1300 injectors that we were gonna have on this car when the car was going to initially have a Pro Charger kit, but since we're not going that route, they're gone, money in our pocket, and the next time we're in a car, it'll be the RS5. So in 3, 2, 1, bam! And now we are in an Audi RS5. This is a really nice experience because I haven't driven an Audi in a long time, but this isn't mine, so we gotta be careful with it. And he doesn't have a radar detector, so there's 2 reasons why we shouldn't really drive this thing hard. But check out the digital dash. That's nice. Now, whenever Kyle gets an Audi, he always finds a way of making me want one. First was his RS3, and now it's this RS5. Woo! Look at how nice this interior is. You can change all the ambient lighting. I don't know how, but you can. And then he has the white interior, all the carbon fiber, CF8 transmission, twin turbo, V6, 2.9 liter. Yeah, I could get used to this. I could get used to this. What do you guys think? After the Supra, Corvette M4 Supra RS5, they make a really cool purple color. That sounds nice. And the shifts are so smooth. This thing moves. This thing does indeed move. And listen to the turbos. This thing sounds pretty freaking good. All right, check this thing out. So it's called Sonoma Green. It has this really cool metallic in it. I don't know, boys. A 2-door RS5. And we give it a little bit of a Jake touch. But anyway, we're gonna wait until Kyle gets back with the Corvettes. So I will see you guys Friday, and we will drive the Corvette again with a new alignment and see how well it drives. Well, well, well. From Audi back to Corvette. It's crazy to me how much that rear has lowered with just one simple 10 mil. All right, the Audi sounded cool, but it didn't scream America. In typical Corvette fashion, we need gas. Believe me or not, that gas tank only lasted us like 2 days. And of course, when we do get gas, we hit fine dining and always go to Chevron. All right, we should be at a full tank. Let's go. $52 later, baby. I always complain about gas, and then I end up taking this car to red line. Straight. The car does still drift a little bit, but that is because we have two 95s in the front. So they really do pull you whatever way they want to. Also, I think the alignment fixed my AC because that wasn't working when I let Kyle take this thing. Now for stock suspension, this car rides really good. I don't know if I'll ever get coilovers for this thing because this is like the perfect ride height in my opinion. Yeah, there's some fender to tire gap, but the overall lowness of the car, like, it's lower than the M4, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think I want to go any lower because the next set of wheels I get are gonna be the same size as the ones we have now, just a different color and a different pattern. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think, but I think this is like the perfect mix of ride height, drivability, and aesthetics. Gosh. It's still so crazy to me that I have this car and my M4. Dude, that made so much of a difference just with one simple 10 mil and 2 jacks. Before I wasn't believing it, but now I'm starting to. GM cars are so much easier than German cars. And not gonna lie, between this one and the M4, this one has a lot more soul too. But boys, I think that's gonna be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and the bell, and stay tuned for next video because we're racing the Corvette against the M4. Drive safe.